Everybody have to click that. Got it. So now, we got you, but we don't see your name. So you're all protected. Karen, how was your vacation? Are you good? You safe? You back? Everything good? Didn't break anything? Hips okay? Yeah, good time? You were on a boat, honey.
Okay. Yes, I'm glad to be back, but it was the most amazing vacation. Went to 7 countries in 12 days. And
all right, well, hold on. I want to hear all about that. We'll do that at the after party. Because we just
I lost weight on a cruise.
Okay, that's
I lost a pound.
That's just nobody wants to hear that. Okay, I mean that's actually huge. That's great.
That's
All right,
huge.
folks. So today, what we have a business partner of ours and a very good friend of mine, Marc Younger. Marc and his wife Jody are originally from Canada. He's going to tell more of the story. This is a story about finding a niche market, finding what you were given with your real estate career, where you're at, because we're all in a specific place. We're in a different area, and we've got to say, okay, what's around us? Marc, I'm not going to steal his thunder. He was able to capitalize on something at a level that I haven't seen done frequently, and it's simply because of his I refuse to do anything except succeed at a really high level. Listen to the story behind the story. The story is his theming business, which is just incredible. And I'm hoping that we'll get some pictures of what he's done because it's so cool. But the story behind this is how he took adversity and turned it into a positive, how he took his environment and said, where's the need? What do I need to do? And the long term of this is he is now getting business from clients that are already working with him because they are so pleased with his knowledge, his skills, and his results. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, a very good friend of mine, Mr. Marc Younger. Marc, you want to say hi to everybody before I start digging into questions, brother?
Hello. Yeah, absolutely. Tiff, can I share my screen later?
Yeah, you're all set for it, Marc, for sure. We already set you up. So yeah, absolutely you can when the time comes. Let's jump into it. You started in real estate about 2 years ago, is that right?
Yeah, I had already owned some properties in Montreal, but moved down here 5 years ago and got started in real estate about 2 years ago. Yeah.
So a backstory on this, Marc literally cold called me and started talking to me about investment opportunities. And I don't do that over the phone. So I went and met him and we talked for a while, and his knowledge of numbers was obviously apparent. I ended up investing with him. Okay, and we got that. Somebody mute that, please. Thank you. Anyway, so his knowledge of numbers was obvious, and I ended up investing with him and immediately received a return on my investment. Tiff and Joe, manage the muting, okay? Thank you. Y'all keep your mics on mute if you wouldn't mind. Unless you have a question, raise your hand. We'll jump into you for sure. That was just really, really, I was so impressed that happened. I mean, I made like a 40% return on my investment in like 6 months. Thank you again, Marc. That was awesome. The market started shifting and he let me know. He goes, I'm not really sure about this. And then you got into real estate, which is about 2 years ago. And I think you started with us, with EXP, because we started here. And then kind of tell us what happened from there, Marc.
Well, essentially, I was struggling to find my niche. I would go on Workplace and things like that and say, hey, or people would say, hey, I'm looking for an Orlando realtor. And I would, jump on it and go, hey, I'm and whether I would say it or not, it was obvious that, I was a new realtor. And so you'd have a ton of like, I have 20 years experience. I have 25 years experience. I've won multiple awards. And then there's me at the bottom having my little 6 months of experience and getting crushed by all these people that had a ton more. And so the person would, whoever it was that was looking for someone, would obviously go off and use a 20-year veteran. And so I was struggling with that. And I knew that I had to find something that I was eventually going to be the king at, rather than just continue to be an ant and continue to be crushed. And it makes me think a little bit about Max, right? Max Wardlaw with his, being the king of open houses. You have to find your niche. And I realized that I had to find my niche.
There's a really good point that he brought in here, and this is for everybody. You know how we always talk about this, and this is real estate 101. Two sources of lead generation maximum. Once you're a master at those, you can bring in a third one, but really your mission is 2. And you brought it up with Max, and it's exactly the same with you. You have your area of expertise. Max has his area of expertise, and he is never wavering from it. Well, I would hope he doesn't, and you as well. This is what you do, and you are the top of the heap because of it. All of y'all consider, it doesn't matter what you do, but if you're the best at it, you're going to win. Mine was for sale by owners. That's all I did was for sale by owners. And I was, in my humble opinion, the best there was at that, because we said we're going to focus. So thank you for bringing that up, Mark, because that's such a valuable point. So let's stay on topic with this. You were with EXP. You ended up going to another brokerage, I think. Is that correct?
Yeah, I wanted somewhere that I thought could focus me on vacation rentals. I went there for a short period. COVID happened. They ran dry on leads. And so I had to scramble again and find my own niche. So to help me survive, I did Op City leads and Ojo leads. I started from the bottom, as Drake would say. Shout out to Canada. But started from the bottom and basically was doing mobile homes, and then I was doing $100,000 homes. And as they started to trust that I could sell them, got a little bit higher up and got some better stuff. But then that was just kind of biding my time, so that I could set this all up. And I set up a presentation about investors, how to make triple your money on short-term rentals. And then I started to go on some podcasts and talk to other people, talk to Canadians, talk to Americans about how, hey, if you just have a boring house, there's way too much competition in this market. You're not going to succeed. But if you theme your house and you make it wow, people will pay the big bucks to stay at those places. And you as an investor can make really good money. And that started getting traction, and people started saying, hey, can you do this for us? And I said, yes. And they said, wow. So they bought the homes from me. Then they would use my expertise and knowledge of the market here, specifically the rental, the resort markets. So the Champions Gate. Oh, look, I live in Champions Gate. I tend to know it, right? The Windsor at West Sides, the Solaras and such. So by living here, knowing these markets and being a master at these resort markets, I was able to help those people buy homes. And then by theming them, they were making a lot of money off of them.
Outstanding. So you brought up something that's kind of important. And when you started, because he started in Champions Gate, I sold him a home in Champions Gate. He said, this is ridiculous. I'm giving you no more money, George. I'm going to become a real estate agent. And that wasn't the case. But we needed to get him in one, and we were able to do that. But I will tell you that he focused on Champions Gate almost exclusively and became such a knowledgeable center. There's a couple thousand, 1,500 homes, I think, in Champions Gate. Mark, is that pretty close to accurate?
Yeah.
That ballpark. But he knew it, and there were different segments, and he became an expert in there. And I challenge y'all, whatever you're going to do, you're going to need to be an expert at whatever it is. And being an expert will separate you from the herd. I guarantee it. And we'll get into more of that in a second. So you went to this other brokerage that didn't work out. You ended up coming back to our brokerage. What brought you back? And what did you find when you got here? Because this is a shameless plug for me, by the way. Just throwing that out. It's all about me.
Well, the mentorship. You helped me with some stuff. And just the daily, the daily information that just the daily the flow of information that comes in, these meetings that help. I brought Josh along with me, which I'll explain. He was struggling over at my other brokerage. I took him under my wing and brought him over, and now he's flying. He's just doing fantastically. So I'm so proud of him. So yeah, I think that we both needed to get out of a bad situation, and we're back where we need to be, and we're flying, both of us.
Outstanding. Thank you for that shameless plug. We knew what we were going to cover, so I wanted to make sure that was brought in there. It's all about me, right? It's all about me.
But when I call you, you're there, right? You know that, I know that. When I call you, you're either there or you text me back and say, hey, I'll call you back in 10 minutes, brother. Like that's what you do. So I know I can always count on you. And that's not the case everywhere. For those of you who don't know, that's not the case with every brokerage.
I want to tell you guys, for everybody that's paying attention to this, I don't care what brokerage you're with, you always need to have somebody that you ride or die with. I think that may be the wrong terminology, but the bottom line is, who's the person that you're going to go to? And all of you can utilize me for that. I challenge you to do so, although of course you'll get the idea that that's going to get kind of crazy, but there's somebody that you work with, that you're friends with, and this is the person who's become a good friend as well as a business partner. And reach out to them and get connected and have somebody you can bounce things off of. Mark and I will talk on the phone and just bounce stuff. We've become very good friends through this entire process of 5 years or so. And I challenge every one of you to find somebody. It may be me, it may be somebody else in the area. What you want is you need a sounding board. We are not alone in this. And I will tell you guys something. I wrote this down as far as the referrals are concerned. If you're not having a conversation that starts with "we are the top group," that it's my partners and I, if you're not using me as a partner or finding somebody that you said, hey, I want to use you as my partner for chasing referrals, I want to piggyback along with that, then that's your partner. That's the person I'm speaking of. You need to have some camaraderie here. It makes a big difference. This is no longer a lonely sport and a single agent thing. Real estate's always been, it's just you, you're on your own, good luck. Okay, well, this platform that we're with has changed that dynamically. It's no longer good luck, you're on your own. It's now we're here together, we're here as a team. So we've now brought Marc up to, he's just getting started in the niche market. I'm going to let him expand on this, but I guess the important thing here, Marc, that I wanted to make sure everybody gets is this happened instantly, your success, didn't it? The first 2 years didn't really count. You instantly went from, I'm going to start in real estate to being an icon. He's going to be an icon agent by far. He has multiple businesses from the one area he's focused on, which he'll explain. But it was instant, right? I mean, you didn't have to work for it.
Oh yeah, I didn't have to work for it at all. No, it was, yeah, right. No, it was 2 years of, yeah, like wondering if I was in the right spot, wondering if I was going to find that home run, but concentrating, it got a lot easier once I set out with a plan. I knew that I probably couldn't be, in my eyes, I couldn't be the best just general real estate agent of all the United States, right? But there was people with 20, 25 years experience who could go and get clients from under me because of all those years of experience. But I could find a spot for myself, develop that spot, and become, a little king in a smaller market and an expert in my field. And the more that I became an expert and the more that I put people around me that helped me with that, because you're right, it's a lonely game when you try to do this thing by yourself. It is a very, very lonely game. So being able to have a good team around me, and then now I've hired people for the theming business, and they've become, my art director and my carpentry director, and they take a lot of weight off my shoulders, which means I can do what I'm good at, sell the houses, rather than have to babysit the business. So that's been great, and Josh has helped in that as well. So yeah.
Y'all just get that shameless leverage plug. I love that. That is awesome. But it's absolutely true. Now, I'm seriously, I'm going to turn it over in just a couple of seconds. One of the things that was really, really cool that you just mentioned in there, besides the leveraging part, was that you had your team around you, you had your partners, and all of us out there. And again, he reiterated this, it can be lonely if you make it that way. Find somebody that is in this group that you want to talk to more. I mean, Marc and I haven't seen each other face to face in probably, I don't know, a year. I guess that's fair. And it's not on purpose. We just keep dancing like near each other for lunch or something. But we talk at least 2 or 3 times a week.
You keep breaking your knees. It's just,
Yeah, that's actually, there's some genuine truth there. Don't forget a national conversation when we're done, and I'll remind you, Marc. But why don't you tell us about this theming business that you just instantly created, that happened overnight and is magically doing fantastic, the one that didn't take any effort at all or any expertise. Tell us a little bit about that, because I know everybody wants to hear it. Guys, this is really cool. Do you have pictures for us too, by the way, of different houses?
Oh, just a couple.
Okay. Awesome.
Everyone see my screen with the Investor's Guide to Orlando?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is, I've modified today for you guys a little bit my presentation that I do to investors, but I'm going to run through some parts that are less pertinent to us and really get to the pertinent parts for you guys.
I want to say one thing before you do, Marc. So this is a presentation that he's developed over time. It continues to evolve, and he's made it ideally fitted for his investor niche market, which is, well, really investors at this point. But this is what he starts with. Sorry, I just had to give him the background. And by the way, this didn't happen overnight either. This started off as a couple pages and then more and then more, and then it got really into it. And now you're going to see the power. We're probably not going to dive deep, but you'll get an idea. There's a lot of effort he put into this, and it's gotten better, much better.
Yeah, this is like version 20 at this point.
Right on.
All right, so a little bit about me. So I always start with a little bit about me so people can get to familiarize themselves with my backstory. As you could tell by the way I say the word house and the way I say the word I am Canadian. So I started as a financial advisor with over 1,000 clients. I built that business by myself as well over 12 years in Montreal from scratch. So I knew I could do it again. I just needed to find the proper timing and the proper niche. The reasons for moving to Orlando, so some of you from the north might feel the same way. Tired of driving on black ice, tired of the cold. I had to do an E2 investor visa and invest in some properties here. And then I switched over to an H1B visa. And that is also thanks to a gentleman named George Philbeck as well, who believed in me. Now I get to live in the sunshine. I can be with my kids outdoors every day. We can go to Disney, Universal, Legoland, SeaWorld, and do tons of stuff and go to the beach. With 2 10-year-old twins, that's the kind of stuff that's important in life, is spending time with your kids. And I truly value that time. Early on with EXP, I did struggle to find my footing. Explain to you guys why. You know, I was lured to property management. That didn't work out. But I did find out of that, you know, out of all that, those difficult times, I found Josh, who's become my partner. And I think that, you know, I would trade all that time that I had to struggle for the fact that I found that one key element in Josh Luttrell, who has really worked with me and is a partner with me in this business and makes every day a little bit easier because we can knock ideas back and forth. I help him, he helps me. And he's kind of like, George, a lot of your senior partners that you knock up you knock back and forth the high level stuff about your agents. Well, that's what Josh and I do about this business. So, you know, without him, this business for me would be a lot lonelier. But luckily, I was able to help him when he was struggling, and now he's given it back to me tenfold.
It's a partnership, by the way, and this is important. I will tell you without reservation that Josh offers the same amount of support and friendship as is done the other direction. And guys, it's Mark is obviously the leader of the group, as it were, but that doesn't change the dynamic of the partnership. The partnership is how can we help each other be great, and they're phenomenal at it, and it makes their days better because of it. Look for somebody to have as a partner, kind of your ride or die person. You don't have to share businesses, you don't have to share money or anything like that. You just need to share support, because that's what we're here for. And helping each other out is really the gift that God gave us all. Carry on.
So our path to success was find your niche, have a mentor who supports you. That's you, George. And hey, if you want to make life more fun, bring a buddy. And that's what I've done. Next up, we're bringing in property management. So we're even developing our niche even more. We'll talk about that in a bit. So what I kind of realized by living in Champions Gate and working previously at a property manager is there's a huge difference in this Disney corridor between non-themed homes, boring homes, and themed homes. And I'll show you a few pictures of the difference there. But there's a huge difference between making, and if you tell it, one of your investors, and this is where it becomes important for you, if you want to work with any kind of investors in the short-term market, is that if you just sell a home and you're done and you walk away, and that client doesn't theme their home, they will probably struggle. Costs are going up. Houses in Champions Gate are up to $1 million. Houses in Reunion are up to 1.1 and up. Houses in Windsor at Westside and Solera and Solterra are all about the same. They're all going up into the 8s, 9s, and $1 million. Here's why that's important. If a client is got a regular boring home, any one of the homes that you see that is not whacked out with crazy theming, they will generally bring in about $50,000 to $60,000 a year. That used to be okay when they used to buy the houses for $300,000 back in the day. Now, if they're buying them for $1 million, the numbers don't make sense unless they theme it. So if you think you're helping a client, you say, oh yeah, I can help you with the investment property. I'm with EXP. We're the best. Here, buy this house. It's $850,000. Well, thanks. It's been great. Well, that client's going to make 50,000 a year. His expenses are going to be 70, and he's going to drown. You need to make them more money on the revenue side. So let's
Hold on. We got to stop right here for just a second. So this is how the niche market was created. There was an issue. He found a solution. He spent a lot of time developing what that looks like, evolved it through the process, and you're about to see the end results, which are so cool. So go on, Mark. I love this. This is so much fun. I'm sending pictures. I get these pictures all the time. If he's done with one of them, I said, send me the photos. I'll share them with Jackie. So check this one out. Look at this. Look at this room. You'll see it. Sorry, go ahead.
Before I go into the actual numbers, which I have the page there, let's talk about what theming means, right? So theming, what we do is we'll take a regular room, a 12 by 12 usually, or 12 by 14 room in one of these 6 to 8 bedroom homes. I don't usually suggest for an investor a condo or a townhouse, because the revenue that they bring in, when you take the HOA and the taxes and the mortgage, the revenue from a two bedroom condo is like $100 a night. So they're not able to make enough to cover their costs. Maybe a townhouse, they're getting close, but even then, a boring townhouse will not make enough money to cover the $500 HOA, the $6,000 in taxes, the mortgage, which these days at 5% instead of 2 or 3% like we used to have. Now we're talking about, and the prices being 500,000 for a townhouse. Now we're talking about, a huge mortgage there, and even bringing in 20, 30,000 is not enough anymore. You need to be able to bring them to make over $50,000, $60,000 to break even and then start making money. So by doing this, people are willing, instead of paying $200 a night for a 6-bedroom home, they're willing to pay $500 a night, even $600 a night to get some crazy stuff like this. So this is a Loki room. I don't know how many of you are Marvel fans out there, but the Loki movie just came, or the Loki series just came out probably 6 months ago. And this is a Loki room that we just completed a couple months ago. And I think it looks fantastic. Kids, here's the thing that you're selling to the parents. Do you want to have a vacation where the kids just leave you alone and are not in your hair all the time? Because when you're in a hotel room, parents, those of you who are parents or who remember when their kids were 5 to 10 years old, it's always, Mom, Dad, we're bored. What can we do? We want to go to the pool. And that can be a very stressful vacation. So when you're able to tell your kids, go play in your room. Look, you guys got a Loki room. Go play. Mom and Dad are going to have a glass of wine in the kitchen or at the pool. It makes for a lot more fun separation. The kids are having fun. You're having fun. Everybody's de-stressing. Everybody's having fun. So this is an example of the Loki. And here's the new Encanto movie that some of you might be familiar with. You might have heard about a song that went viral, We Do Not Talk About Bruno. Well, this movie has really hit a home run, I think, like Frozen and like Cars before it, to be one of the bigger Disney movies of late. And what we did here is, so we remade La Casa Madrigal, which is a centerpiece to the movie. We used the butterflies that were a centerpiece to the movie as well, and the candle up here that was centerpiece to the movie. Then what we did is we integrated black light paint. So this is the same room. All of these are the same room, but at different lighting positions. So what that means is, up at the top left is how it looks in the daylight with regular light. Then bottom left here with the pink is when we put our black light on. So we had our electrician put some spot black lights directly onto these doors so that they turn pink when you have the light and the black light on. And then we thought, you know what, let's make this even awesomer. When we completely turn the light off and just have the black light, it turns into this dark purple. So now we've got 3 levels of lighting in one room, and kids just go nuts over it.
Hey, Mark, real quick on that. This begs the question, how are your clients' reviews for the people that are living there, that are spending the time there, their experience through this process. And we elevated that too, where they're even getting even stronger, more positive reviews.
Absolutely. I mean, people take houses that they're giving 4.1, 4.2, 4.3. And most of the time when we're done with the house, they might even consider completely wiping that clean, having our theming done, and then relisting. And some of the times they're going to be relisting with our new property management company. But even if they stay with their old property management company, because they're contractually obligated to do so, they're going to put these pictures up, and all of a sudden their numbers are going to skyrocket. 4.8, 4.9, 5. Oh my God, couldn't believe this Encanto room. The Loki room was so much fun for my kids. The Toy Story thing was unbelievable. So now they're going to get higher reviews because of it. Yes, that's a very good point.
Good, thank you. And it's expanding upon amazing service across the board, which is, everybody pay attention to this part because it's so important. He found an area and then he became the expert in that area, and you're getting to watch what the results are. I mean, and this is crazy cool stuff. But now they're clamoring to him, find me another one because I want to do it again, which is so cool. Wow.
So Josh, not to be outdone, has done some pretty crazy projects as well. I brought up a couple examples. We don't just do beds. We also do arcades. We also do structure beds. So, we do fully immersive rooms. This is an example of an AT-AT with lights and sounds. And over here, we've got like an Avatar inspired garage with black light. So, we can do pretty much anything, but the general plan for clients is buy a 4 to 8 bedroom house in a resort, 15 minutes from Disney for these days, about 700,000. Theme the whole house for about 100,000. It can look something like this. This is Champions Gate. But the bigger the better, because as I mentioned before, 2-bedroom condos, you're not going to generate enough revenue. It's all about outpacing the costs. So it's about generating enough revenue to outpace your costs. You're not going to do that with a 1 or 2 bedroom condo, but you will with a 6, 7, 8 bedroom home. And you can even on borderline do it with a 5 bedroom home. So what do the numbers look like? Investors always say to me, especially the analytical ones, get to the numbers. We want to see the numbers. Yeah, the artsy schmartsy stuff is great, but show me the numbers. So this is a real example. So we themed a home, a 7 bedroom home, not even an 8, not even a 9, not even a 10, but a 7 bedroom home purchased for 750,000 in a resort, in this case in Champions Gate, a few months back. That person's gross revenue is on par. He's done about 6 months, but it's on par to do 170,000 for the year. So you've got your 170,000. You take off your insurance, your taxes, your AC and your water, your maintenance, your mortgage, which is higher than it used to be, of course, your management fees, your booking commission for the property manager, and your HOA fees, and your total net revenue ends up being 83,309 after we've themed it. Now, 83,309 divided by the 200,000 that they would have to put down. Now, as an American, you can put down 10% of the purchase price, which is 75,000 in this case. We all know there's about $20,000 of closing costs. Okay, so we're not going to hide that from the client, of course. We have to be realistic. Look, you're going to have about 20,000 of closing costs. And then we put 100,000 of theming. Now, what does that get them? We're able to do 3 crazy rooms like this and a garage with an arcade, or a garage with a projector, as you've seen with this Avatar one, where we'll buy them theater seats, we'll buy them risers, and we'll put a movie theater in it, or as an additional option, we'll put an arcade in it, which you saw a little bit before. So either option, you're ending up with 83,000 of net revenue divided by the 200,000 that this cost, and you're looking at a 41.65% return. Now, every house is slightly different, but we've been able to consistently do these numbers over and over again, whether it's 156, 170, 185, with 7-8 bedroom homes. These are the revenues they can expect when they theme them as crazily as we have them do it. Now,
Mark,
yeah,
it is just a second. I want to make sure that we save enough time to get into what is involved and how did you build this theming business out? Because
Of
numbers
course.
are important, but these are important for the investors. We're looking for how'd you do this, man? What's going on? How'd this start?
So when I was at the other property management company, I realized that they had no themed homes, and that the themed homes other people did, and they were doing really well. And I suggested to them that they do the themed homes, and they kind of were not that crazy about it at all. And so I just knew I wasn't at the right place. And it
So-
was one of my contributing factors to coming back to EXP and developing my own niche.
So basically, you did a little bit of R&D in the current market, which is rip off and duplicate. There aren't any new ideas, and there don't have to be, but you made it better. You took a great idea and then added to it. And folks, they're available everywhere, all around us. You have to look. And he was intensely looking for, how can I make a difference? How can I put a stamp on it? Because I was involved in that process. And as I said, it happened overnight. Instantly, he did this. This is time on task over time. Haven't said that in a while. But this was a couple of years of him saying, I'm going to make it better. And these final products, the pictures you all are seeing, this isn't the first one. He's not going to show you the first one. I don't blame him. But now he's got, well, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to how did he build this business out and what that looked like too. Carry on, Mark. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. So essentially, I realized how important theming was. I did some research with some different property managers. I called around and asked for numbers. A lot of the property managers don't want to give you numbers. So I basically made a deal with a property manager, and made a deal to be able to send him my clients in the meantime, and built the business. I started with one artist, one carpenter, and we made homes. And then I said, hey, I've got another client, but this team is busy. I'm going to need a second team, and got 2 carpenters and 2 artists. And now we have 6 artists and 6 carpenters. So we're able to process more homes. And fun fact, last night, we're pretty sure that we found a shop. So now we're going to have 3,500 square feet to mass produce, to take care of the production of these beds and these painting booths that we need to really be able to take care of the demand. Because right now I have 17 clients who want homes lined up.
So they come on the market, we buy them, we take it over, we turn around, we theme it, and turn it into an asset producing phenomenal returns. That's what the evolution of this is. And it provides such a high level of service that they are now calling their friends saying, if you can get in, you got to get in. Is that a fair statement, Mark?
Yes.
They're,
And you were talking about streams of income. It's 3 streams of income. It's real estate commission, theming, and now property management.
now, it started, of course, with real estate commission. And you said, I can add theming to it. Mark won't say this, so I will. The first one he did was great, but it wasn't at the level he's doing right now. And this continues to evolve, as you will do. Something that we're all very familiar with. I am absolutely committed to a pre-listing package going out before you list a property. 100%, it separates you. But the first pre-listing package was his first thing he did, the first theme he did. Now it's this magnificent presentation that really explains incredible value very efficiently. And it didn't just stop right there. He never has been satisfied, which is what I've just enjoyed so much. And I want you guys to hear that. Never be satisfied that you're at the right place and you're doing it well, because you're not there yet. Nobody is. We have to keep moving. All of us, every one of us. I did this for So Manor. I do it currently right now, and we're talking about the GPS Global Partners and what do we bring to the table? We have massive focus. Do you? Because with massive focus, you can move mountains. This he just did. He's walking you through what is now a 3 income stream with 6 painters, 6 carpenter teams working, and a warehouse for it. And he has 17 people saying, find me another one. I want the next one. It's mine. I want it. Let me go first. And they want his expertise. People need to
And-
want yours too, because you guys are the best. And start with a pre-listing package. Is it phenomenal? And if it's not, make it that way. Never give up, never be satisfied. Sorry, Mark, I had to throw that out there because I've watched you go through this massive evolution of good to great to mastery, and it's inspiring.
And this can be something that you guys can have access to. I mean, we can discuss. But this, if you have clients that want to buy, investment homes, you have to be aware that whether you use my services or another company's services, you have to be aware that this, for your client's sake, that in this market, in the Disney market, those types of homes will only work if they are themed.
There's a footnote to add here as well. If you're buying a property that a client, or you're working with a client, that client is interested in buying a property that is a short-term or a month-to-month rental or something like that, and they want to elevate their price point, it is really massively effective with short-term. I was in an Airbnb for a couple of days, and we were on both coasts with the Airbnbs. The one with the outside grill, kind of an outdoor theming, was hugely more appealing, because now we didn't use it, but we saw it, and that's why we chose it. So the truth is, it was just too hot. I wasn't interested in standing outside and cooking, but the outdoor grill was the bomb. Is there something where you can take this and then apply it to perhaps a market where you could say, look, you just call an outdoor company, let's really do this up nice with a couple of umbrellas from Wayfair, and you've got this amazing opportunity. I will also let you know that he is extremely busy, but I also know Mark to be a very generous person with his time. Josh will testify to that. If you're running across a property, particularly in a short-term environment rate, I would challenge you to have a conversation with Mark and say, listen, can I present your theming to my clients? Because I think it'll benefit them. He'll be able to tell you if it's going to fit the project or not pretty quickly. And please give him time, guys. He's busy. I will put his number in the chat. That's a direct text number. I may even put Jody, his wife's number, in there, because if he doesn't answer, you call Jody and she beats the crap out of him. That's not true at all. She's wonderful. But if you don't mind, Mark, I want to share your number so that people can reach out to you if they have any questions, or quite honestly, if they've got a property that you're theming might work. And by the way, if you liked what he's doing and you want to do it, find him a property to theme and participate by spectating and asking questions while he's doing the theming, and then do some R&D. Okay, it takes a couple of years to get to his level, but there's enough business for everybody. I promise you. And we're all in the same group. We're all on the same team. So I'm going to put your number in there, Mark, if you're good with that. Not that
Yeah,
you can
absolutely.
say no. Okay, cool. While I'm looking for it, actually, do me a favor, Joe. Do me a favor, Marc Younger. Grab his phone number and drop it in there while I'm talking. If you don't get to it, I'll find it as well. Mark.
I know it.
Yeah, well, there we go. What's your phone number, Mark?
407-701-9959. We live in an age where we just press a button with people's names, and we've all forgotten phone numbers.
Joe's already way ahead of me. Thank you, Joe. God bless you, man. You're awesome. See, you can't do this without partners. You cannot do it. Between Joe and Tiffany, I would be lost. Oh my God. So there's talk, Mark, of taking this business nationally. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we're in talks with one of our clients who wants to open up a fund and take this national. He loves our work ethic and our determination and our product, and is looking to see if this might not work in Colorado, Hawaii, LA, everywhere really. And it's obviously a question of, what themes work in what markets, but there's absolutely a way to practically franchise this, and have markets. Imagine the themes you could do in Hawaii, right? So not that I'm personally going to open up the Hawaii one. Yes, I am. I'm going to have to sacrifice myself. It's not easy, but I will go live in Hawaii for a year to open up home theme Hawaii, because I'm that kind of guy, and I will take a bullet for the team.
I appreciate you. Talk about falling on the sword. That really is a sacrifice, and we should acknowledge that and accommodate you for it with accolades. Mike brought up a really good question, Mike. I'm going to ask it for you. Are there any copyright restrictions with Disney when you're putting this stuff together?
We have contracts with the clients where, so two things. The answer to that is, we have contracts with the clients to let them know that, Home Theme is doing this at their request, and that our, responsibility ends there, to protect ourselves. As for the reality of it, there's been only one company that I've seen that's gotten temporarily swatted a little bit, because they stuck it in people's faces and they advertised nationally that they were doing this. Except for that, just having an Airbnb and putting it on Airbnb. I mean, you guys can go look for yourselves. There are a ton of them.
Okay. So it really hasn't come down to the fact that there's a copyright issue that presents itself. There probably is, because we're using Aladdin, as I'm looking right here.
What we are able to do. Oh, that's cute. You think that's Aladdin? That's good. We're gonna have to watch some Disney movies together.
I can't read.
You're gonna have to come over and watch some with my kids. But there's ways around that. If you, this is Encanto, George. This is Maribel. So yeah. Anyways,
That's Grandma, Abuela. I know that now that I can read the word. I know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
My glasses on to check that out.
So basically, there is a way around that. Basically, if you change the character about 20%, then it's kind of free will. So we're able to get around that. If we ever got a letter or something like that, or the client got a letter, we could come in and do some changes, so that it wouldn't be an issue.
Okay, awesome. It's a great question, by the way. Thank you very much, Mike, for asking that. It's an important one. What I'd like to do, because we've got about 15 minutes left, plus or minus, I want to open it up if there's any questions. If so, can we stop the share at this point? Would you mind stopping the share so we can see everybody? And raise your hand if you have any questions or comments that you want to share. We'd love to have you. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this. Brian, let's start off with you, and then Hallie, I'll get to you in just a second. Hi, Hallie. Good to see you.
Hey,
Brian,
Mark. Good morning. Great idea, that you thought of. Like, what are your thoughts of, expanding this all over Florida? Like, I'm in Boca Raton, so South Florida, we get a lot of seasonal business as well. So what's your ideas as far as expanding, throughout the state? And what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Boca Raton. My partner, Josh, lives in Boca Raton, and he would probably be glad to have a conversation with you about that. So yeah, we do have some reach down there, especially going north a little bit less. I don't know anybody in Jacksonville personally, but we're definitely open, as I just mentioned, to opening up different Home Theme Orlandos or Home Theme wherever's, and because we have the expertise to how to open a shop, how to hire the right artists, and how to hire the right carpenters, and then how to just do the processes. So, depending on how much business was in there, we could definitely go, or just for a one-off, we could send a crew out there to do a job for you if the numbers were right.
Brian, reach out to Mark. His phone number is on the chat. If you would, Joe, drop it again one more time just so it's real convenient for him. Maybe just shoot him a text, and the easiest way is shoot him a text. Hey, can I give you a call? What's a good time? And there might be an introduction to Josh because he's in your area as the need comes. But as you'll find with, I think, a lot of us, he's pretty much an open book, and he's one of my very, very dear friends because he's a great guy too, Mark. I love your story. Love what you just did, and thank you so much for being transparent. Is that cool, Mark? Did we get you the answer you needed? Or excuse me, Brian? No, it was Mark was on there. Did we get you your answer? Brian,
yes, totally. Thanks.
Right.
Yeah, I'll be reaching out a bit later. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Do me a favor,
Sure.
drop your hand so we keep it going. And Holly, hi, what's up in Atlanta?
Hey there. Mark, this is awesome. So glad to know about you. I focus on buy and hold investors in North Georgia, but good to know that you're down there in Orlando. So I have a couple questions real quick. And maybe I missed, I had to walk away for a second on the property management topic. When with EXP, and I don't know if you are planning on launching a property management group or if you were just partnering with a property management group, because I was curious with EXP, since we're not quote unquote, allowed to have a property management, is the workaround basically you have another licensed agent manage it that's not with EXP, but you're still an owner? And then anyway, I have one more question though after you.
Well, let me get that one answered for you quick, and I'll address that one because I know the answer to this. It's a great question, because in our particular brokerage, the one that you and I share, Holly, is we don't do property management. Property management is defined as holding escrow, is defined as holding security deposits and things like that. That's the owner's job. We are managing the property on their behalf, which is either commission-based or non-commission-based, depending on what your description of managing looks like. Managing is being there if there's an issue to help out, and you're retaining me for doing that, which falls under my real estate license because I'm skilled to do that. Or pay me outside of my license and I'm simply just a handyman or a connector of results for you. If you're holding escrow, EXP, our brokerage, has big issue with that. We don't do it because the liability is astronomical. Nobody accounts for it very well, and there's a higher insurance premium. So you're never going to hold escrow, and he calls it property management, but the truth is I'll be your on the ground expert, non-real estate related, because there's really nothing real estate involved in that at that point. You're simply, we have a refrig issue, I'll bring in a refrig guy. You do that part for him. Okay, that's the simple question. You had another question too.
Okay, running numbers. So Mark was showing where he had run numbers, but it was kind of wrapped up into the pitching the theme product line. On the real estate agent side, I've been apprehensive about running numbers for my clients because I don't want to get into I don't want to be running numbers all day. And two, I don't ever want to be in a situation where later they say, well, you showed me these numbers and blah, 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 so I want them, and I'll teach them how to run their own numbers. But I'm just curious what his stance is on that, because I'm concerned like you could get into this trap of just running numbers.
Well, okay. So first of all, we run numbers based on we show people actual results from people. So this was an experience where I was like going through really quickly because of our time crunch and wanting to respect everyone's time this morning. But I take a lot more time. As you saw, there was a lot of slides I even skipped over just for everybody's time this morning. But I definitely go into showing people when I'm actually at a table with them. I actually go through, look, these are our actual clients that have achieved these results. Now, if another COVID wave hits or, a meteorite hits the earth, I can't, say that in the future, numbers will keep appearing, but these are actual things that have happened. This is not an example that I'm making up off the top of my head.
Okay, thank you. That makes sense.
Thank you very much for that, young lady. Mia, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to be here with you guys today. So Mark, I'm like so happy I got on the call today because I've been wanting to get into this market myself as an investor. And in Champions Gate specifically, I have Florida. I have family in Florida, and we stayed in an Airbnb in Champions Gate, and I fell in love with Champions Gate. At that time, I was considering buying a 2-bedroom condo, but it was kind of like a townhome. Actually, no, it was a condo. It was just one level, and I didn't make the move. I bought a house here in Philly instead. But my question to you is, do you dabble at all in Airbnb arbitrage? Because it requires a lot less money to get started, which I'm considering, starting off that way until I can buy, a property.
I personally do not. I think that there was a point, and somebody who's for arbitrage might still sell the idea and tell you differently. But this is my personal opinion, I think that arbitrage had its time during the big COVID wave where people were panicking. I'm in Champions Gate right now, this is where I live, and it made a lot of sense when the tourists went away. And so when there was no tourists, the homeowners were like, oh my God, nobody's renting my house. You come by and you go, hey, I'll give you $3,000 guaranteed a month. They would jump at that because they were getting, especially the boarding houses. The themed ones were fine, but the boarding ones really did struggle. I saw some people making only $30,000, $40,000 in Champions Gate, which is ridiculous. with these like 6 and 8 bedroom homes. So I think at that time, for those houses, totally made sense to do arbitrage. Now that the tourists are back more than ever, I don't know that you would have that many people that would jump at making $3,000 a month on an 6 or 8 bedroom home. Now you might have more luck with the condos and stuff like that, because those people are not making that much money. They're making maybe $100 a night. So if you walk in and you give them a number and then you theme the house, you can make more, right? Then it might make sense. But I think that somebody with a 6 or 8 bedroom right now, they're doing fantastic, whether they're in Champions Gate or one of the other communities here, because the tourists have come back in droves.
Right.
Right on.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much
much.
for sharing your knowledge.
So we have a couple minutes. We're going to stay for the after party for sure. I have at 9:30. My day starts at 9:30. Well, that's not fair. My day starts at 7, getting ready for y'all. Nice to be back again. I miss you guys. Anyway, I want to bring something up for everybody, just so you know. So we have these questions that come up all the time on, and I talked a lot about it today about, finding somebody or have some questions. If you need to talk to me and you want to go around it easily and just set up a quick call, my Calendly link will be on the front page of the GPS Global Partners. You can go in there and just pick a time, and then it shows up on my calendar, and then I'll make sure that we reach out. In fact, I'm fortunate enough, I have a call today at 1 o'clock with one of our business partners who wanted to talk about something. So feel free to do so. I'm here to help. I will tell you, a vast majority of my time is spent answering questions and offering additional support for whatever your needs may be. So I have a pretty busy schedule, but I'm here for you, and you can find a way to get in my calendar easily. I just wanted you guys to know that that's an opportunity for you. In fact, I believe that Joe just put the link in there, which means he's done with it. Awesome. Thank you, Joe. Mark, I'm going to leave the last words to you. And if you want to, because I know they probably dig it, stick around for the after party, as which starts in about 4 minutes. And there's probably going to be some more questions. But this is all you, my friend. Thank you for doing this so much. I really enjoyed it. You are awesome, dude. Awesome.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, George. Thank you to all of you. I'm getting some stuff already, people that are pinging my phone. I guess my thing is from a movie a while back, and I just tell people, if you theme it, it will come, or they will come. In this market, what was the baseball movie? Field of Dreams. That's it.
If you build it, they will come. Yeah.
If you build it, they will come. If you theme it in this market, they will come. There's an immense difference in the Disney corridor between themed and unthemed homes, and it's the difference between lack of success and investors wanting to sell their home in frustration, and huge amounts of success and clients wanting to buy over and over and over because they've had such a great experience. And if you can, we can work together to get your clients that experience. I will gladly share my knowledge and help you guys out. If you guys have investors that you think might be interested in this area, I can help you build a roadmap to helping them and how to have them have success. And then they will talk about you to all of their friends. And that is how you can build your business.
Wait a second. You're actually willing to help us be successful at this? You're willing to just, do what you just said you would do? You're what's wrong with you, man?
Not you, George.
Oh,
them.
Yeah. Okay.
Them.
Thank you so much you literally completely embody what the GPS Global Partners are about. It's agents helping agents without the broker agenda crud in there. Thank you for doing that. Karen, Miss Thinner on vacation. I lost 1 pound while I was out drinking and having fun in 7 continents, has a question. So
Okay.
Tell us what your question is.
2 things real quick, Mark. Thank you. This is a great call. How would you prefer we proceed if we have someone who might be interested? Do we give them your number or give you their number?
I would say give me their number and just let them know that I'm going to give them a call.
Okay.
Then I can do it on my hours, and so I don't miss a call from them.
That
And you know how clients are. If you give them a number, they forget, right? You give me a number, I'll make sure I make the call.
Oh, perfect. And then item number 2, really quick, off topic. Sorry, George.
Yeah.
I am hosting a lunch and learn today, and I just had 3 cancellations. If anyone wants to come, I just put my phone number in the chat. It's going to be about title and lending, and it's at the Fidelity National Title in Winter Garden. So my number's in the chat. Anyone local who wants to come to it, you're invited.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Karen. I appreciate that. Nice to know when you're hosting training events in the local area. Let us know for sure. Obviously, great conduit for any information getting out is Tiffany and Joe. I challenge that you'd email both of them simultaneously. That way they both know. And for the record, to make it really complex, both of their emails are Tiffany and Joe at sosafilbeck.com. So it's Jackie's last name, old last name, my last name, sosafilbeck.com, Tiffany and Joe at. Just hold on to those and remember them. And if you're not sure about where they are, you can always go to the chat box inside of the GPS Global Partners. There's a big button that says, help me, I need information. You can put the information in there. It goes to Tiffany, Joe, and myself. So we all
George,
see it.
can I say one last thing?
Absolutely. This is your platform, dude.
Karen, it's great to see you again. I don't know if you remember, but you were one of the first people to train me when I came into GPS group, when I came into EXP actually. So it's great to see your face again. I haven't seen you in a little bit.
Likewise, and I'm so proud of you.
Right on.
Thank you.
Me too. Both there are two icon agents. All right, I've got to hop off because I have a conference call right now. I'm 1 minute behind. Mark, thank you so much. This was even better than I knew it was going to be, and I'm truly appreciative. Y'all enjoy that? What do you think? Pretty cool. You get some good gems. Yeah, and it's the story, guys. The story is what's most important. He went from, he's obviously an intelligent person, as are you guys, because you're here learning more, which proves it. But he said, there's a way I can make this better. And he never gave up. I got to watch the whole thing. It was such a motivational thing for me personally to experience what he was going through. Some of the lows were really kind of tough. He almost sold his house. He didn't tell you this. He was to the point where he's like, I can't do this. I'm in harm's way. My family's in harm's way. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And I said, well, you're going to have to dig in. And darned if he didn't do it at a level that is a professional grade. And it's just been a remarkable journey, Mark. At the risk of sounding slightly condescending, and I don't mean to, I am so incredibly proud of you, young man, and what you've done. You have just kicked the ever-living crap out of this, and you deserve all of this. It was hard work, and I'm digging it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna finish with what I always do, and then I'm gonna turn it loose. And guys, have at it. He's here. He's for you until he has to go. And Will has the next question as soon as I'm done. Go out and tell somebody you love them, that they're important, that they matter. Let them know that how you feel, because you never know when that chance isn't going to be around. You're going to miss that opportunity. A couple things will happen. You're going to feel better for doing it, but you may actually change their lives. You may actually save a life, quite honestly, for doing it. And what would be the harm in telling somebody that, wow, they're great? Just like this. Mark, I'm going to call you in a little bit. I'm going to tell you just this. That was the most amazing call. I was so proud of you and what you did. And thank you so much for being so authentic and genuine and sharing and volunteering your time and saying, what can I do to help you? Let me show you the path. That exemplifies what true leadership is. And I can't tell you what an impact you've just made on me. You've actually challenged me to be better. So thank you for being you, because you made a difference to me. God bless you guys. Have a great day. Will, you're up next. So I'm gonna leave it with you, and I'm gonna go on my call.